My girlfriend is a bona fide celebrity, and I'm her manager. Also, her secret boyfriend. I was just arriving at the boutique hotel in West Hollywood where we were supposed to meet when the world around me suddenly filled with text. Ethan, get out of there. It's a setup. Your girlfriend planned it. There's a drugged actress inside, and the whole place is staked out by paparazzi. My hand, holding the key card, froze. Were they talking about Lily? My sweet, kind Lily. I stared, baffled, at the translucent text boxes that had materialized in the air, looking like comment from a live stream. My girlfriend, Lily Vance, and I were keeping our relationship under wraps. She'd sent me a key card today, telling me to meet her here for a private date. I hadn't suspected a thing, but the moment I pulled out the card, this phantom chat feed appeared. According to these comments, the person in the room wasn't Lily at all. It was some unknown actress, and paparazzi were hiding everywhere, waiting. Lily and I had been together for 5 years. I should trust her, but this floating text wasn't something science could explain away. I hesitated. Why would she do this? I mumbled the question aloud, and the feed instantly provided an answer. Why else? She's cozying up to Leo Roth. She wants to jump ship to his agency. She can't ruin her own reputation, so she has to destroy yours. Manager drugs and assaults aspiring actress. It's the perfect headline. Leo Roth, the newly minted Emmy winner. I slid the key card back into my pocket. After a moment's thought, I pulled out my iPhone. 5 years of history. I still couldn't believe Lily would do something like this. I sent her a text. Lily, I think I lost the key card. Can you come let me in? The moment she read my message, the cheerful tone of her text vanished. A long pause. I'm in the shower, she finally replied. Just go ask the front desk for a new one. I can wait for you. Ethan, you know how long my routine takes. It'll be faster if you just go to the front desk. After I agreed, her upbeat tone returned instantly. The answer was painfully clear. Lily had betrayed me. We'd met at UCLA, fell in love. 2 years ago, as we were about to graduate, Lily told me she wanted to get into acting. I was hesitant. She said it was her mother's dream as well as her own, a dream she had to fulfill. I couldn't resist the longing in her eyes, so I became her manager, determined to protect her and guide her career. I once heard a saying, if you love someone, don't let them go into Hollywood. I always thought it was just cynical nonsense. Now, it felt like a prophecy written just for me. We were once so in love, but it couldn't stand up to the allure of fame and fortune in this town. My hand clenched around my phone, veins standing out on my knuckles. I ducked my head, fighting back a wave of desolation, and pressed the corners of my stinging eyes. When I looked up again, my expression was a carefully constructed mask. You finish what you start. I needed to know exactly what Lily had done behind my back, and how these bizarre comments had appeared. I turned to leave, but the text on the phantom feed blocked my path. Don't go. The actress inside is a future Oscar winner. An Oscar winner? Who was in there? I scanned the hallway and spotted the glint of a camera lens from a secluded corner. After a moment's thought, I turned and headed for the public restroom down the hall. Ethan, what are you doing? Don't leave. One Clare Sterling is worth 1,000 Lily Vance says. Save her. Earn her trust. Clare Sterling? So that was her name. The moment I knew it was Clare, Lily's whole plan clicked into place. 2 weeks ago, I'd visited Lily on set. She was running lines with Clare, and even though Lily had been a professional for 2 years, her acting was no match for the raw, natural talent of the classically trained Clare. To make matters worse for Lily, the two of them even looked somewhat alike. This setup was a masterstroke. If it worked, it would destroy me and her future rival in one fell swoop. All the more reason I couldn't let her succeed. Ignoring the stream of comments, I called hotel security and told them to clear the paparazzi from the floor immediately. Then, I called a friend of mine who was a doctor. Soon, a brief commotion erupted in the hallway, followed by silence. When my friend arrived, I swiped the key card and opened the door. Inside, Clare Sterling's fair skin was flushed a deep, alarming crimson. My friend shot me a knowing, teasing look before administering a sedative. What's the situation here? You cheating, he asked. I shot him a glare. I was the one being cheated on. I can't be seen here, I said. Take her to your clinic, get her treated. Make sure no one gets a picture of you. He nodded, understanding, and carefully helped Clare out of the room. After he left, I got in my car and drove to Lily's house. On the way, the phantom feed filled in the rest of the story I was supposed to have lived. Apparently, our world was a book. The protagonist was Clare Sterling, and it was a story about her overcoming a career-destroying scandal to rise to the top of Hollywood and win an Oscar. Lily Vance and Leo Roth were a secondary power couple, and I was just the disposable villain, a stepping stone for their story, written off in less than 3 chapters. In the original script, the second I opened that hotel room door, paparazzi would have stormed in, flashes blinding me. The next day, headlines about me drugging and assaulting a young actress would be everywhere. Lily would play the victim, using the scandal as leverage to gracefully exit her contract with me and sign with Leo Roth's agency. My subsequent attempts to confront her would be painted as the desperate acts of a crazed ex, an obstacle to her career and newfound love. I was supposed to be hounded by the media, ambushed by her crazed stands, and eventually die while saving someone else from an accident. This bizarre feed, I gathered, was from readers who pitted my fate and had somehow broken through the fourth wall to warn me. I never would have imagined that the sweet girl who used to curl up next to me could be capable of orchestrating such a cold-blooded demise for me. But thanks to the warning, I wouldn't be repeating that story. My face was a grim mask as I pulled up to Lily's place. I punched in the security code I knew by heart. The sprawling living room was dark and empty. I followed a trail of discarded clothing that led to a bedroom door, left slightly ajar. They must have been in a real hurry. Through the crack, I could hear Lily's voice, straining to please Leo Roth. The sight that greeted me was shocking. I never knew Lily could be so debased, so utterly subservient. Was this the girl I had cherished for 5 years? I knew status was everything in Hollywood, but I never thought she would stoop this low. Why'd she change so much? Whoa. I never knew Hollywood's new-it couple was this trashy behind the scenes. Is this what my premium subscription pays for? Gotta say, Leo Roth isn't even as good-looking as our boy Ethan. The side-by-side comparison is kind of painful. Amid the running commentary from a feed, I pulled out my iPhone and quietly started recording. After a long moment, I gently pulled the bedroom door shut, clicking it locked. The sharp click of the lock echoed in the silent house. Have fun, you two. You're locked in together now. The next day, Lily burst into my office, frantic. I guess she'd finally found a moment to check on the progress of my public execution. She linked her arm through mine, her touch cloying. Ethan, I was set up yesterday. Someone must have swapped our key cards. Is that so? I looked directly into her eyes. She averted her gaze. Of course. You don't think I... Of course not, I said, my tone shifting. Lily, when you first started, you said we'd go public with our relationship as soon as you were established. I think it's time. Panic flickered across her face. She couldn't even look at me. Ethan, you're my manager. You know going public with a relationship right now would be terrible for my career. Is that it? Or is it because you've already found a bigger safety net in Leo Roth? My directness caught her completely off guard. What are you talking about? She stammered. I simply took out my phone and played the video I'd recorded last night. The color drained from Lily's face. She just stood there, speechless. Lily, we were together for 5 years, I said, my voice growing tight, my eyes burning as I fought to suppress the grief welling inside me. Even if you wanted to break up, even if you wanted to sign with someone else, you could have just told me. Why did you have to frame me? Have I ever done anything to wrong you? Lily, who had been staring at the floor, suddenly snapped her head up. Her eyes were filled with a cold fury I'd never seen before. I couldn't help but remember the bright, hopeful spark in her eyes when she first told me she wanted to be an actress. In just 5 years, it was all gone. You didn't wrong me, she spat. But how much did you really do for me? I've been working for 2 years, and what did you do? You buried me in acting classes. You booked me in a string of supporting roles. Great roles, sure, but almost never the lead. You even had me turn down a guaranteed lead role in a major film to do some low-budget indie passion project. Do you know what people at the agency call me? She sneered. The perennial supporting actress. I fell silent. So that's how she saw it. I pushed her to take acting classes to hone her craft. I fought to get her well-written, memorable supporting roles in major productions that would impress audiences. I had her do that indie film to build critical acclaim and give her the kind of likability few actresses in this town have. She had no idea how much effort I'd put in behind the scenes to land her those supporting roles, or how toxic and fraught with compromise those lead roles she coveted often were. It was all my own wishful thinking. All Lily ever wanted was to be famous. A bitter laugh escaped my lips. So that's what you've been thinking all this time. We're done. Go handle the contract termination on your way out. I paused. On a personal note, for whatever our past is worth, I'll give you one piece of advice. Leo Roth is bad news. A wave of exhaustion washed over me as I finished. I don't care what kind of person Leo is, she said, turning to leave. I just want to be a star. She stopped at the door and called my name. For a fleeting second, I felt a flicker of hope. Did she regret it? Ethan, she said, her voice flat, devoid of any sentiment. Make sure you delete that video. I really was a joke. Congrats, dude. You're finally free from that toxic mess. Oh man, he looks broken. Someone give him a hug. Ethan, look outside. Claire Sterling has been peeking in this whole time. Wait, why is she crying? Claire was outside my door. And crying? Before I could even process it, she shot through the doorway like a rocket and slammed into my arms, holding on tight. I was completely bewildered. I tried to gently pull away, but she wouldn't let go, so I just resorted to murmuring comforting words. After a long while, she finally pulled back. Ethan, I'm so glad you're okay. What do you mean? Her eyes were red-rimmed. I wanted to thank you for what you did last night. If it weren't for you, we both would have been ruined. So that was it. But why did she act so familiar with me? I was sure I'd only met her for the first time on Lily's set. It was strange. Ethan, she said, her voice earnest. I heard everything just now. Lily couldn't appreciate what you were doing for her, but I can. What if you became my manager? Though I had started this career path for Lily, I had genuinely fallen in love with the work. And Claire was a rare talent, a raw nerve of acting potential. To be honest, I couldn't bear the thought of letting her slip away. But I had to be clear about the risks. Claire, you have incredible potential, I began. But after Lily and I officially terminate our contract, there's going to be a storm. If I sign you right after, you'll be dragged through the mud. They'll call you her replacement, and for a long time, the public will see you as nothing more than her stand-in. I'm not afraid, Claire said, her gaze unwavering. I trust you. Why do you trust me so much? And have we met before this? A blush crept up her cheeks. I trust my instincts, she said shyly. Maybe we knew each other in a past life. Well, Claire, I said, a small smile forming on my face. It's a pleasure to work with you. Claire's arrival and her unwavering trust were a temporary balm for the sting of Lily's betrayal. As I expected, things unfolded just as I predicted. That same day, Lily released a statement announcing the termination of her contract with my agency. At first, the public reaction was rational. People change jobs all the time. But then a fan commented, asking if she had been mistreated at her old agency. Lily posted a curiously vague reply. Everyone was wonderful to me. But she added a crying emoji at the end. She deleted it seconds later, but not before countless screenshots were taken. Her stance flooded our agency's social media, demanding justice for Lily. The more extreme ones spammed my personal Twitter with hateful messages. I let the narrative brew. Late that night, after getting Claire's consent, I posted a formal announcement that I had signed her as my new client. The backlash from Lily's fans intensified. But I didn't care. The accusations of mistreatment were baseless and would eventually die down. In the meantime, I was using the controversy to make Claire Sterling a household name. Never let a good crisis go to waste. What I didn't expect was that the first person to call me after my announcement would be Lily herself. Ethan Cole, she sneered through the phone. I didn't know you were into playing the replacement game. Lily, where do you get the confidence to think I'd still have feelings for a backstabber? I retorted, and frankly, you're not worthy of having Claire Sterling as your replacement. Besides, I cut her off. Her acting talent on day one already runs circles around you. I hung up, ignoring the furious sputtering on the other end of the line. If Lily was willing to throw away 5 years of our lives for fame, then I would elevate Claire to a level she could only dream of reaching. Riding the wave of publicity, I started hunting for the perfect script for Claire. The submissions were mostly mediocre until I came across a web series from a first-time director called Solo. The plot was clever, full of twists. Most importantly, it had a short shooting schedule, which was perfect for Claire's current situation. Ethan, pick this one. It's a dark horse. This is the series that makes Claire Sterling a star. The show even gets dubbed in other languages and becomes an international hit. Seeing the feed's glowing endorsement of the script, I knew I had a winner. When I presented the script to Claire, she accepted it without a moment's hesitation. It's a new director and a low-budget streaming series. You don't want to think about it? I asked. I trust my instincts, she said with a small smile, her eyes full of complete faith. And I trust you, Ethan. That feeling of someone placing their entire future in my hands was something I'd never truly felt with Lily. Suddenly, I was filled with a new sense of purpose. Is it just me, or do Ethan and Claire look perfect together? The chemistry when they look at each other is insane. I'm shipping this. Hard. The comments made me realize Claire and I had been staring at each other. The atmosphere felt charged. I cleared my throat, and she seemed to snap out of it too, her face flushing slightly. I quickly negotiated the contract for Solo. The day we finished shooting the promotional photos, we announced the project, capitalizing on the lingering buzz. But, as if by cruel coincidence, or more likely, by deliberate design, Lily made her own announcement that same day. She was officially joining Roth's production company and had been cast as the lead in the major IP adaptation Dream of a Lie. The show was based on a hugely popular novel with a massive fan base. The public goodwill I had spent 2 years building for Lily now paid off for her. Neither fans of the book nor the general public had many objections to her casting. Immediately, the media began comparing Lily's and Claire's resources. No wonder our Lily left. The second she's away from Ethan Cole, her career takes off. My favorite actor and my favorite actress are working together. A dream come true. And look at that Claire Sterling. Stuck doing some cheap web series. Can't compare to the real deal. Their fans openly mocked our project while propping up Lily's status. Are you okay? I asked Claire, watching as her Instagram comments were overrun by Lily's stans. I'm fine. She shook her head gently. I've been through worse. Her last words were barely a whisper, and I didn't quite catch them. Online, Lily's fans were celebrating. I knew she was counting on this role to cement her status as a leading lady, but it was never going to happen, because she had no idea that the rights to Dream of a Lie were anything but clean. Soon enough, it was time for the first day of shooting for Solo. At the studio lot, we ran head-on into Lily and her entourage. It had only been a few weeks, but she seemed like a complete stranger. She greeted us with a bright, fake smile for the public to see. Then, in a corner where no one was watching, she leaned in and whispered, "Just admit it, Ethan. You're washed up. Look at me. I barely left you, and I landed a huge production like Dream of a Lie. And look at your precious Claire. Stuck with a project that will never see the light of day." She smirked. A stand-in will always be a stand-in. She'll never be the real thing. I'd never realized how conceited Lily could be. Are you so sure that Leo, Roth, and Dream of a Lie are your ticket to the top? I asked calmly. What? You think you'll get there with your little web series? She sneered. For the sake of our past, I said, my voice even, I truly hope you manage to finish filming this show. There was no point in arguing. People who can't see past their immediate desires are doomed. I would just wait and watch as all of Lily's efforts turn to ash. Dream of a Lie told the story of a girl who escapes an abusive home and relentless bullying to build a new life for herself. But even after leaving her small town, she's haunted by nightmares. In a shocking twist, the novel ends with the protagonist listening to her parents and returning to that same town to get married and have children. The book's early chapters were beautifully written and deeply moving, but the ending was abrupt and jarring, as if written by a completely different person. I had my suspicions, and the feed confirmed them. According to the comments, the original author had gotten into a car accident and was left in a coma. Her supposed best friend stole the unfinished manuscript, wrote a new ending, and published it online. But shortly after, the original author woke up. She couldn't bear to have her own traumatic experiences consumed by the public in such a twisted way, nor did she want her pain to become a source of entertainment. And so, the production of Dream of a Lie was destined to be shut down mid-shoot. The feed also mentioned that in the original timeline of the book, Lily was never cast in this role. I had no idea why she'd made this choice now. But whatever the reason, it was no longer my problem. Finding my silence boring, Lily turned and stalked away. Watching her go, I felt a chill. This was, after all, a woman I had genuinely loved for 5 years. Claire, sensing my mood, stepped closer. Are you okay? I'm fine, Edith. I don't know which one is the real Lily. Was she the sweet, lovely girl from my memories full of dreams? Or this ruthless woman, willing to do anything for fame? Maybe, I said quietly, I never really knew her at all. Don't worry, Ethan, Claire said, her eyes fixed on mine. You still have me, and I will never, ever betray you. Looking into her determined gaze, I felt that same sense of confusion again. Could it be true? Do we really know each other in a past life? The following weeks were a blur of efficient, focused work. I thought the next big news about Lily would be when Dream of a Lie inevitably imploded. But she made it to the top of the trending topics for a very different reason. Hashtag Emmy winner Rothifer exposed hashtag Leo Roth Lily Vance. The story broke when Leo was visiting Lily on set. They were photographed in a heated, intimate embrace in the studio parking lot, and later, entering the same hotel room. The photos were crystal clear. It was undeniable. Their respective fan bases erupted, demanding an explanation. As soon as the news hit, my phone rang. It was Lily. This was you, wasn't it, Ethan? She accused. We broke up, didn't we? I'm free to be with whoever I want. Why would you do this? Are you just trying to get revenge? Try to ruin my career because you can't stand to see me succeed? She unleashed a torrent of accusations without taking a breath. You're so sure it was me? I asked calmly. Who else could it be? We were together for 5 years, Lily. Don't you know what kind of person I am? When she betrayed me, when she set me up, I had thought about leaking the video of her and Leo, but I couldn't do it. I knew that if I released it, her career would be over. As a final farewell to the girl I once loved, I chose to stand back and do nothing, to watch coldly as she made her own mistakes and walked into her own abyss. But now I saw that I was wrong. I never should have shown her that mercy. On the other end of the line, Lily fell silent at my question. After a long moment, I heard the dial tone. The media frenzy continued to build. Late that night, Leo and Lily made it official. They posted a photo to their Instagrams, nestled together intimately, looking like the perfect couple. Perhaps the paparazzi photos had softened the blow for their fans, because aside from a few die-hard solo stans, most people seemed to accept it. The trash took itself out. They actually went official. Wait, in the book, didn't they wait until after she won her first big award to go public? I glanced at the feed, then drained my glass of whiskey. I had imagined, countless times, a picture of me and Lily, out in the open for the world to see. A picture where I could proudly say, "This is Lily Vance, my girlfriend." The picture was finally online, but the man standing next to her wasn't me. It wasn't that the relationship would hurt her career. It was that I was the problem. Our entire relationship had been a joke. As I reached for the bottle again, Claire rushed into the room and wrapped her arms around me. "Ethan, please let her go," she pleaded. "A two-faced person like that doesn't deserve your love." She hugged me tighter. "Don't worry. I will never betray you. No matter what happens, I will always be by your side." I knew I should push her away, but I found myself clinging to the warmth of her embrace. I slowly closed my eyes, and before I knew it, drifted off to sleep. I didn't feel it when Claire gently pressed her lips to my forehead. But the feed saw everything, and it went wild. I knew it. I knew Claire liked him. Why, yes. My ship. I'm so happy. Taking bets on when these two finally get together. While we were working non-stop on Solo, Lily was constantly taking days off to do press events and photo shoots with Leo. They capitalized on the buzz, appearing on talk shows and filming commercials together as a couple. As a result, the production schedule for Dream of a Lie fell disastrously behind. Since we were shooting at the same studio lot, I often overheard crew members complaining about her. She was rapidly burning through the public goodwill I had so carefully built for her. Solo, being a streaming series, wrapped up quickly. Just as we finished, my older brother came back to town, so we went out for dinner. That same night, Lily was trending on Twitter again. This time, she was just collateral damage. Hashtag Roth sleeping with the boss's wife. Hashtag Leo grooming scandal. An anonymous source had leaked damning information, alleging that Leo Roth was having an affair with the wife of his agency's president, complete with graphic, intimate photos. This was a matter of pride. Even though Leo was the agency's cash cow, the president wasn't about to let it slide. It got worse. More leaks revealed that Leo had landed his Emmy-winning role thanks to the president's wife pulling strings, and that his award was the result of her backroom maneuvering. Leo's fanbase imploded. Devastated fans turned on him, including several high-profile leaders of his official fan club. They began posting their own evidence, screenshots of inappropriate DMs, and even intimate photos with Leo. Some of the fans involved were minors. In an instant, Leo Roth was at the center of a firestorm, and as his girlfriend, Lily was dragged right into it. The public immediately began to speculate that she had known about his behavior all along and had even enabled it. Lily's social media was instantly flooded with hate. A few of her remaining fans tried to defend her, arguing she was also a victim, but their voices were drowned out in the tidal wave of outrage. "Do you regret it now, Lily?" That night, I went to sleep early, feeling a sense of grim satisfaction. I had no idea that overnight, my own name would be trending. Photos had surfaced of me having dinner with a man, the president of a major studio, and later, of me helping him back to his hotel. One photo, where he had his arm slung over my shoulder, made us look very close. Immediately, a flood of articles and social media posts appeared, all pushing the narrative that I'd slept my way into getting resources for Clare. Lily's stans, desperate for a distraction, immediately pivoted and started attacking me. But the studio president had another title, one that not even Lily knew about. He was my brother. The next morning, Claire frantically called and filled me in. It was obvious someone was using a manufactured scandal about me to divert attention from the real one. For an agent to be trending just for having dinner with a studio head, it had to be a coordinated attack, and I had a pretty good idea who was behind it. Lily. For her own self-preservation, she was capable of anything. It made me wonder if her entire persona with me had been an act. What else had she done behind my back? But it was pointless to dwell on it now. On the phone, Claire was beside herself with worry, but I noticed there wasn't a hint of doubt in her voice. "You don't suspect it's true?" I couldn't help but ask. Maybe I really do have a secret, sordid relationship with the studio head. "Never," she said, her voice firm. "I know that the opportunities you got for Lily and the ones you've gotten from me were all because of your hard work. You're not the type of person who takes shortcuts. It struck me then. Why could Claire see this so clearly after such a short time, while Lily remained blind to it after 5 years? Some people really can't see past their own immediate gain. Soon after, my brother released a public statement clarifying that we were siblings and announcing that his legal team would be pursuing action against the accounts that spread the defamatory rumors. WHOA. I did not see that coming. Ethan is a freaking Nepo baby. I bet Lily Vance wants to crawl into a hole and die. She threw away a chance to marry into a dynasty for a scumbag like Leo Roth. Yes, the moment Lily saw my brother's statement, she regretted everything. She rushed straight to my house. When I got home from a long day of work, I found her crouched pathetically by my front door. Ethan, she whined, you changed a keypad code? Now that my feelings for her were completely gone, all I felt was disgust. Ms. Vance, I said coldly, you're a young woman, but your memory seems to be failing you. We broke up a long time ago. The pitiful expression on her face froze, replaced by disbelief. She seemed unable to comprehend that the man who once adored her could look at her with such contempt. Ethan, I was deceived by Leo. The truth is, I've never been able to forget you. Forgetting why she was really here, she put on a mask of deep emotion and reached for my hand. I recoiled from her touch. Lily, do you take me for a fool? My voice was ice. You schemed against me and Claire without a second thought. When the public turned on you, you threw me to the wolves to create a distraction. And now that you know who my brother is, you come crawling back, begging me to take you back. Am I that pathetic? Lily was speechless, but she recovered quickly, her eyes welling up with tears as she began to spin a sob story about how hard things had been for her. It was the best acting I'd ever seen from her. The tears flowed on cue. Before I could say anything, Claire emerged from the shadows. You have some nerve showing your face here, Claire snapped, her voice dripping with contempt. You're the one who cheated. You're the one who framed Ethan. And now you have the audacity to come back and beg for a second chance? Let me guess, you're after his family's money, aren't you? Claire unleashed a verbal torrent on Lily, then slipped her arm through mine possessively. Sorry to disappoint you, she said, a triumphant smirk on her face. But Ethan and I are together now. Without another word, she pulled me away, leaving Lily standing there, stunned and alone. Once we were out of sight, Claire shyly explained that what she'd said was just a tactic to get rid of Lily, and that I shouldn't take it seriously. I knew that, so I didn't think much of it, until I saw the feed above my head. Oh sure, now you're embarrassed, Claire. You weren't so embarrassed when you were stealing a kiss from him while he was asleep. Claire had kissed me. Was it that night I got drunk? Could it be that she actually had feelings for me? My thoughts were a tangled mess as I went home. I couldn't make sense of it. I had been completely oblivious to Claire's feelings. Looking at her, her cheeks now tinged with a faint blush, I decided to just let things be for now. Leo Roth's case involved minors, so he was taken into custody and the investigation was ongoing. With her lifeline gone, Lily had no choice but to retreat to the set of Dream of a Lie. But she didn't give up. Whenever she had a spare moment, she would ambush me, pleading for me to take her back. She started calling me from different burner numbers, since I had long since blocked hers. This went on for 2 months. On the day Dream of a Lie finally wrapped, the original author filed a lawsuit against her former friend and the production company. The whole story came out. The novel was based on the author's own life, a story of trauma that her friend had stolen to make a profit. Once again, Lily was at the center of a media storm. Then, more leaks. Someone revealed that Lily had only landed the lead role in Dream of a Lie by sleeping with the director. The leak included high-definition clips from her dailies, showing her with a vacant expression, devoid of any acting ability. It also exposed her for using body doubles excessively and bullying talented supporting actors. One scandal piled on top of another, a feast for the gossip-hungry public. Scumbag and a sellout. Lily Vance and Leo Roth are a perfect match. I can't believe what Ethan must have gone through to prop up Lily's career in acting. And I actually blamed him for her leaving. I'm an idiot. Look at Claire Sterling, just quietly working hard and not causing drama. Compared to her, Lily is a joke. We owe Ethan and Claire an apology. A spontaneous movement began online to apologize to me and Claire. Seeing it all unfold, I turned to Claire and asked if she was happy. She just smiled faintly, as if it didn't matter, or perhaps as if she knew this would happen all along. With public opinion now firmly on our side, the producers of Solo immediately released the series on their streaming platform. The first 8 episodes were a sensation, hooking viewers instantly. The plot was fresh, and Claire's performance was magnetic, a masterful display of nuance and control that drew the audience deep into the story. With her talent, She silenced every troll and critic who had once mocked her. I was so wrong. I called Clare a stand-in, but now I see Lily Vance was the real joke. Solo is amazing. My entire family, from my grandparents down to my kids, is obsessed. When Lily saw the news, she flew into a rage, smashing everything in her apartment and even injuring her assistant. That too was caught on camera and leaked online. The last of her loyal fans announced they were leaving her. The general public who had once been on her side started the hashtag cancel Lily Vance, demanding she be kicked out of the industry for good. When it rains, it pours. Buried under an avalanche of scandals, there was no chance Lily would ever make a comeback. Looking at her miserable fate, I felt no pity. She had brought it all on herself. Still, a small part of me wondered. The downfall of Lily, and even Leo Roth, felt too perfect. It was as if an invisible hand had been orchestrating everything, ensuring every piece of evidence was irrefutable, leaving them no chance to spin the narrative. But it no longer had anything to do with me. A year later, Clare was nominated for Best Actress for her role in a new film. On the night of the awards, she stood on the stage in a stunning white gown, confidently accepting her first major trophy. I watched from the audience, my heart swelling with genuine pride. She had earned this every step of the way. "I'm so grateful to the Academy for this award," she said, her voice clear and strong. "But there's one person I have to thank. My manager, Ethan Cole. Without his unconditional support, I wouldn't be here today." She paused, her eyes finding mine in the crowd. "And tonight, on this happy occasion, there's something I want to say to him." She took a deep breath. "Ethan Cole, I'm in love with you. Will you be with me?" Under Clare's hopeful, shining gaze, I leaned into the microphone at my table and spoke softly. "I will. Aha. My ship is real. I waited a whole year for this. They're finally together. I can die happy now. Ethan and Clare forever. Congratulations." As the last few congratulatory comments appeared, the air around me shimmered and cleared. The feed that had been my constant companion for over a year vanished in an instant, as if it had never been there at all. "Thank you," I thought, "for saving me from danger and for helping me find true love." Epilogue, Clare's perspective. When I woke up in the hospital, I knew. I had been reborn. In my last life, shortly after my debut, I was framed by Lily Vance. She had photos taken that made it look like Ethan Cole was sexually harassing me. I had barely any fans, but my social media was overrun by haters, and my reputation was destroyed overnight. But soon, I noticed the public's attention shifting away from me. A friend in the industry told me that Ethan had paid a fortune to have my pictures scrubbed from the press and had deliberately drawn the public's anger onto himself, framing me as an innocent victim. Meanwhile, Lily launched a relentless smear campaign against Ethan, determined to crucify him on the cross of sexual misconduct. I didn't understand their history, the source of their hatred. Soon, the world forgot about me. I received an offer for a small, low-budget web series. With no other work, I accepted. The show was a surprise hit. I became famous, truly famous. Before I had a chance to enjoy it, I was taken hostage by a mentally unstable Stan. Just as he was about to drag me away, a figure appeared out of nowhere. It was Ethan Cole. He stood between me and the stalker, buying me time to call the police. By the time they arrived, Ethan had been stabbed multiple times. He died at the scene. I couldn't believe it. The man who had been so full of life just moments before was gone. After his funeral, I hired a private investigator to look into him. He was a contradiction I couldn't solve. First, I thought he was a predator who wanted to use me. Then he went out of his way to clear my name. I thought he might be trying to blackmail me, but then he unhesitatingly gave his life to save mine. I had to know who he truly was. Soon, I learned the entire story. It had all been Lily's scheme, including leaking my schedule to that crazed fan. The more I learned about Ethan, the more I found myself admiring him. And without even realizing it, I had fallen in love with a dead man. I found myself fantasizing endlessly. What if I had met him first? Could we have had a happy life together? From that day on, I donated most of my earnings from acting and endorsements to charity, all in Ethan's name. At the same time, I began gathering evidence of Leo Roth's and Lily Vance's crimes. The day the truth finally came out, as the internet was flooded with apologies to Ethan, I went to his grave and took my own life. As my consciousness faded, I was bathed in a golden light, and a faint, ethereal voice asked me, "What is your wish?" "I wish that in my next life, Ethan Cole can live in peace and safety," I whispered, "and I wish that I can meet him sooner." When I opened my eyes again, I was back in a hotel room on the night I was drugged. Through a hazy consciousness, I saw Ethan, and this time he made a different choice. Good people, I thought, are truly rewarded. After I was discharged from the hospital, I rushed to find him. Seeing him there, alive and whole, I burst into tears. I knew he still had feelings for Lily, but I wasn't in a hurry. This time we had a whole lifetime.